I smiled for the camera in Japan for 3 years.
Used that money, pulled the man I love back from hell. He ended up in our wedding bed. It's dirty over and over again. My name is Ingzi. High school graduation year.
I decided to sign a labor agency.
Went to Japan. Why are you leaving? I can't stay because of that home. My parents divorced when I was in high school. They started families. I was kicked around like a rubber ball. They don't love me, don't want me. I don't have a home.
I went to Japan because I heard that it earns a lot of money there. You can save enough money to buy a house back home in 3 years.
Right there, in a black and narrow electronic parts processing factory, I met Xiaola. Xiaola went half a year earlier than me. He looks clean, smile with a dimple,
like a high school student who hasn't graduated yet. He grew up with his grandmother in the mountains.
To treat my grandmother, he was in debt, so I ran out to work, in a foreign land. 2 people left behind by the world. The easiest way to warm up. I remember that winter night. The heating in the factory is broken. I was shivering with cold. Xiaola sneaked into my dormitory, from arms, pulling out a steaming convenience store rice ball. He smiled and said, Ingzi, eat it. I'd been covering it for a long time. It's still hot at that moment. I looked at his red nose. My heart suddenly collapsed. We are together. No flowers, no ring, only in cramped tenement buildings, planning the future against a broken table. He said, Ingzi, when we've saved enough money, I'll go back to my hometown and buy a house with a yard. Never come out again. I nod my head, full of hope. At that time I thought, as long as he is there, I can do any hard work. Things were getting better, until that Black Wednesday. Xiaola at the workstation suddenly fainted, pale as a sheet of paper, sent to the hospital. A series of inspections are done. The doctor told me the result in cold Japanese. I collapsed on the hallway bench, aplastic anemia. The doctor said the situation is not optimistic. We need a bone marrow transplant as soon as possible, and subsequent anti-rejection treatment is a bottomless pit. Money, money. We need a lot of money. The boss of the agency is helping me translate. I trembled as I opened our passbooks. Our savings are only a few 100,000 yuan. In the face of expensive medical expenses, this money is like a stone thrown into the ocean. Can't even get a splash. Xiaolu is lying in the sterile ward. Smile at me through the glass window. He mouthed, Ingzi, I'm dying. You go home. I shook my head wildly. Palm on glass. It hurts to shoot. How can I go? I am his only support in this world. And I started looking for money like crazy. I went to the factory to advance the salary. Go and borrow money from all the compatriots you know. But everyone is a migrant worker. Who has money left over? The boss of the agency, a man named Chang. See me cornered. Pull me aside quietly. He said, Ingzi, you look so beautiful. Good figure. If you are willing to give up, money is not a problem. I didn't get it. Did I ask him to do the dishes? Or go to accompany the wine? I can sew that. Just give money. I can do as much as I want. Boss Zhang shook his head. There's a look in my eyes that I don't understand. It's not manual labor. It's filming. Plot kind. Make a movie and you will work for a year. My brain exploded with a hum. I know what that means. It's the abyss. Is hell. It's a quagmire that can't be washed again as long as you jump in. I refused on the spot. But that night, the hospital issued a critical illness notice. Xiaola has a high fever due to infection. If you don't pay it later, he could die at any moment. I was sitting on the rooftop of a hospital, looking at the bustling neon lights of Tokyo. The city is so bright, but there is no light left for me. I flip my phone. Look at the only group photo of me and Xiaola. He smiled so brightly. He said he would take me home, and I close my eyes. Tears flow into the mouth. It's bitter. I called Boss Zhang. I said, but I have a request. The money must be paid in cash, and do it fast. First scene. It was taken in a secluded suburban apartment. The director is a man with a stubble on his face. I don't look at me like I'm looking at a person, but looking at a product. He lit a cigarette, spit in my face. Good looking. The eyes are too dead. Wait for the sea to open. You want to cry in that desperate and touching way. Okay, that's not filming. That's called abuse. Every second is delaying my self-esteem. Every time I feel like vomiting. Every time I try to push each other away and run away. In my head, Xiao Luo's pale face will emerge. I recite the little music in my heart over and over again. Live happy. Live after filming. I collapse to the ground. The director is satisfied. He handed me a thick stack of yen. Smile and say you are very talented. Crying is real. Continue next time. I held the stack of money tightly in the palm of my hand, fingernails into the flesh. I used the money to pay for Xiaola's surgery, and I became the #1 artist in that studio, because I have a first love face. There is another sense of breaking through from the bones. After every shot, I will be in the bathroom. Brush your skin hard with a brush, until the bloodstain is brushed. I dare not go to see Xiaola. Every time I go to the hospital, I have to wear a lot of makeup, cover cheer up my haggard. He asked me about Ingzi. Where did you get so much money?
I lied to him that I changed to a multinational trading company. The boss is very good looking.
I'm pitiful I got an advance on my salary. Also gave me a lot of bonuses. Ingzi is capable now. Sheila, you just need to recuperate in peace. Sheila, look at me.
Doubt flashed in his eyes. 3 years, 3 years.
I'm like a money-making machine without a soul. Between the hospital room and the set. Finally Sheila's illness was completely cured.
Watch him grow his hair back. The face is ruddy.
You can walk. You can even hold my hand while walking in the park. I think all the pain I've suffered was worth it. We started talking about going back home. Therefore we will get married when we return home. I'm going to give you the biggest wedding ever. Sheila hugs me, whisper in my ear.
I leaned into his arms.
The body is stiff. Wedding people who are dirty like me.
Do you still wear a white wedding dress? And in the past 3 years,
with the development of short videos and the internet,
the scenes I filmed were widely circulated on the website.
I have a hunch.
Paper can't hold fire after all. I had a nightmare that night, dreaming that Sheila saw those videos. He pointed at my face and called me shameless.
I woke up, sweating profusely. Sheila is still asleep.
The moonlight shines on his face.
So holy, so innocent, and I looked at him, filled with fear. If you can, I hope this secret can rot in a coffin with me. But fate never spares anyone easily. People struggling in the abyss. Secret revealed.
Not as earth-shattering as I imagined. Instead it is calm and suffocating.
That night, Sheila is in the living room. Use the computer to check the strategy of buying a house.
I take a shower in the bathroom. The water was clattering.
I'm wiping my hair with a towel.
Suddenly the button sound next door stopped,
and my heart sank. An ominous premonition instantly swept through the body. I don't care about blowing my hair. Just put on a pajama. Pushed open the bathroom door. There were no headlights on in the room. Only the computer screen emits a faint blue light. Shine on Sheila's face.
His face, worse than when he was sick 3 years ago. His eyes are fixed on the screen,
lips trembling violently. I walk over, follow his gaze to the computer screen. That moment, my blood is completely clotted. On the screen,
it's a website that men often share and browse.
There are video covers on the web, and one of the hottest top videos. The heroine on the cover is me. That's a series I made a year ago. Is in the picture.
The red birthmark on the heroine's right shoulder.
In this world,
only Xiaolo knows the birthmark at that location. I felt like all my strength was drained in an instant.
My legs went limp, kneeling directly on the floor. Sheila turned her head mechanically and looked at me. His eyes. It's the scariest look I've ever seen in my life. No heartache, no pity, only endless disgust, anger and shame.
His voice was as low as a ghost in hell.
This is the high-paying white-collar worker.
He suddenly went crazy. He snatched the glass of water from the table,
hit the computer screen hard. Bang!
The room was plunged into darkness.
You make me sick. Sheila stood up, looked down at me.
The moonlight shone on his face through the window.
Horrible. It was deathly silent. Only my broken breaths. Sheila didn't slam the door as I thought.
He sat like a statue in the shadows.
A long time, and he laughed in a low voice. He said, Ingzi, I really hate it.
I hate why I got this disease.
I hate the money that saved my life even more. That's how it came. How do you want me to live in the future?
I knelt on the ground and grabbed his trousers,
crying all over.
I can't argue with that.
Because in a video like that, under a lens like that, any explanation seems feeble. And we went back. He didn't leave me.
After all, if I hadn't betrayed my self-esteem then, he's already rotting in the dirt of Tokyo.
He is a man of conscience. But sometimes, a man's conscience is the most tormenting knife. After returning home,
he bought a house with a yard in our hometown. That's what we used to do in a cheap apartment in Tokyo. I have planned countless dreams against the broken table.
White wall. Roses are planted in the yard.
He also kept his promise.
Marry me wedding is easy. I didn't invite any relatives. Just got a certificate. A couple of friends sat down for dinner, during a toast, and he looked at me.
There is no trace of joy in the eyes of a groom.
Instead, it's like completing some kind of heavy sacrifice. He held the glass low, down to the dust. He said, Ingzi, I toast you to this glass of wine. Thank you for giving me a second chance at life. When I drank that glass of wine, my throat looks like it's been burned. The day after marriage, it's even colder than I expected. Sheila is nice to me, never hit me, don't scold me, don't touch me.
He comes to work on time, full pay,
housework rush to do.
In the eyes of outsiders, he was a survivor.
A good man who loves his wife very much, but only I know. This house is as cold as an ice cellar.
He always lay by the bed with his back to me.
It's as far away from me as the entire Pacific Ocean. I dared to hug him from behind. The hand just touched his skin. He jerked like an electric shock, and then a violent, uncontrollable retching. I'm standing in the bedroom door.
Look at his violently undulating back propped up in front of the sink. Heartbreak to ashes. He is grateful that I saved his life, so he bought a house to marry me. Take care of me. He's spending the rest of his life paying my debts. But he can't love me anymore, because of his pride. The moment the video was clicked on. Completely dead. We became strangers living under one roof. Come back from get off work every day. He will only say a few necessary words to me. The meal is ready. I'm going to take a shower. Go to bed early. He never looked me in the eye. Never on that big bed I bought. Had any tenderness with me? Sometimes. I'd rather he yelled at me like he did in Tokyo that day. Even beat me up. He didn't. He just used this cold violence that bordered on masochism. Tell me over and over again how dirty it is. Once I passed by the study, see him looking at himself in the mirror, pain in my eyes. I'm leaning against the doorframe, tears streaming down my face. 3 years ago, I thought I traded my dignity for my lover's life. That's the best deal in the world. It took me 3 years to understand. Death never lets people go in vain. Although he spared Xiaoli's life, but took away Xiaoli's soul, it also strangled all the tenderness between us. I brought him back to life, but lost him forever. Me now. Still live in this house with a yard. Watch the roses bloom and thank you again. Xiao Lu is still polite to me. Still in that bed hugging me back to back in silence. This redemption of love and death. No winners. He lives between guilt and disgust. I live in the abyss of giving and being spurned.